Plus, the pageantry of this sport, the passion that the fans have for it, that's what we love about it. And to be able to go to places like Fargo, North Dakota, even though it's not necessarily what people think of big time college football, but in their world it is. And we've always kind of had in our mind, well, it'd be great to get to Seattle, and we got there last year. We've always talked about getting to the Grove. I mean, forever. I've been on the show 19 years. And, it's one of those landmarks that people love to come to. And for us, we've never looked at ourselves as, hey, we've arrived, everybody pat us on the back. We're very much more about the place that we're visiting and just being kind of a conduit between the fans nationally and the particular university that we happen to be on that week. And what better place to celebrate a college football Saturday than in Oxford, Mississippi, with a huge showdown, arguably one of the biggest games in school history. We're thrilled to be here and looking forward to, well, just looking at our set. I was just taping some Sports Center segments and looking out at the Grove, which I've never seen. I've been here for an Egg Bowl, but it's during Thanksgiving. It's like 45, 50 degrees. It doesn't really count. This will be my first real experience of the Grove, and that stage, looking out over that, I can't even imagine what it's going to look like. It's going to be sweet. And we kind of feed off of the energy of the crowd, and I think this crowd will be one of the best we'll have all year.
What are some of the more memorable experiences, atmospheres, places that you've seen?
Well, Fargo, North Dakota, because we're right in the middle of a town where they shut the streets down, and it was like Wrigley Field. People were hanging from rafters over top of our set. It was just an amazing scene. That was most recent. Clemson, South Carolina, the first time we went to Clemson was awesome. One of the most underrated places, we were just talking about it down at our meeting, is Missouri. I would have never thought that or known that before we went there, but Missouri was unbelievable visit. And Eugene, Oregon always stands out to me because we go on the air at 6 a.m. local, live, and it's dark out, and you can't see the fans, but you can hear them. And then it slowly becomes daylight, and all of a sudden you realize there's 10 or 15,000 fans out there that love their team, even though it's a lot of them had to spend the night there to be at the show. So that one always seems to stand out. Seattle we went to last year was, again, off the charts as far as energy and the crowd. The infamous one was Virginia Tech back in the Michael Vick days, where we went inside the stadium and they filled the entire side of their home side. There might have been 25,000 people there. Nebraska back in the late 90s, and it's not a similar situation where we went into the stadium. So there've been quite a few that stand out. And for me, being an Ohio State guy, the first time I was able to bring my boys, my twins, on the set for a pick segment at the end was really special. I think it was 2005 when Vince Young was in Texas. So that's always fun to go back to Ohio State.
Production meeting this morning, I noticed it's just kind of a loose exchange. I mean, you're going through and you're going through your schedule and what you got to do. So and you have that, but kind of just the dynamic in that room. How much does that really help and carry over into game day?
Well, you touched on it. I think that's really, in my opinion, the secret ingredient to game day is what happens whenever we're all together, whether it's at a dinner, a production meeting, it's self-deprecating, you're getting kicked in the stomach, figure of speech, as far as like the way I'm the #1 seed as far as taking shots, usually from Lee Fitting, our producer. I call him Al Bundy. He's or Archie Bunker, depending on his mood that day. But it's just, we have so much fun with each other in those settings that it just carries over onto the set. And sometimes you forget, you gotta be careful because you forget you're on the air. It's such a kind of a family feel to it. But it's the way guys kind of behave. It reminds me of being on a football team and being in a locker room, and some of the stuff that goes on in a locker room where guys are making fun of each other in a loving way. That's kind of the way we do it with game day. And Lee Corso, at 79 years old, he's right in the middle of it, taking it and dishing it.
I noticed, I know